Aloha friends, this is first impressions of the 4-foot Hengear nest box, which my friend Francine and I have just completed assembly. We are building it in such a way that the openings will be inside the chicken coop, and then the wall of the chicken coop will be like right there, and then eggs will roll out into a collection tray outside, so I won't have to go in the coop to collect eggs. So let's see how this thing works. Let's say I'm a chicken and I'm suddenly motivated to lay an egg. So I'm gonna hop in here, kind of look around a little bit, and oh, well, this is interesting. Actually, no, it's not interesting at all. It's like super boring in here. There aren't any partitions, so I don't need to worry about which is the best spot to be. There's no nest materials, there's nothing. It's just me and my thoughts. So I'm gonna come on in here when I'm ready to have an egg. I come on in here, kind of hang out for a bit, center myself, think Zen thoughts, and then when I get ready to actually lay the egg, what's going to happen is I'm going to stand up and the egg is going to fall out of me. There it went. Where'd it go, Francine? Huh, it rolled underneath the magic black curtain and now it is out of sight, out of mind, and there's nothing else going on in here. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks, Francine. Appreciate you. A few hours later, the owner of the nest box, me, walks up to it, releases the predator guard, opens it up, and look, there's an egg here. And it's perfect. It is not pecked, it is not cracked, it has not been eaten, and it has not been pooped on. That's awesome. So we do have a few comments about how the assembly process went. Starting with these things, these predator guards here. This is what actually holds the back wall in place, so no one can get in from the outside if you set it up in rear orientation like this. These things were actually really hard to put on because the nut inside here is one of those plastic lined lock nuts. And lining it up in here with this whole thing completely assembled, lining this thing up was pretty awful. You can see way back here, there's the nut. So getting something onto this nut to hold it while all the way around on this side, I was screwing things in and checking tension and stuff. That was pretty bad. So what I recommend is the first thing you do is you locate this piece and get these things on there in a loosely tightened configuration. So it's super easy to just get in there and tighten them a little bit. While we're on the subject, this was problematic for a second reason, and that was it's held up by these bolts here. There's a bolt here, it goes in about that far. If you do what the directions say and put this on first, you will then take it off later in order to put this screw in here because it's very, very hard to get at this nut. So I recommend you start with maybe this piece right here to stiffen up these two walls and get them to stand up straight. Other than that, this was a pretty straightforward process to put together. These little tabs are nowhere in the documentation. It doesn't look like this, so that was confusing. And when they came out of the box, both of the tabs had actually been bent during shipping. So I had to fumble around and figure that out too. With regards to the documentation, and tools, you're definitely going to want one of these. Don't try this with a manual screwdriver. And the wrench idea is good, but worked really well for me is a pair of tiny channel locks. One more comment. When you are making documentation like this, please don't use green as the primary highlight color here, because people who are colorblind cannot see this green, and it's just a mess of gray. So that's it. This guy's gonna go out in the coop pretty soon. We are not really ready to lay eggs. I'm sure we'll check back in later. Thank you, Francine. Appreciate you.